Hi guys, I think I'm live now. If you can see me, if you can hear me, please do let me know in the chat. Please go to cracku.in/live and then you can join the stream. We'll be having 26 questions today. Anybody who is getting 26 into 3 is 78 marks. Anybody who is getting greater than or equal to 70 marks will get a free Cracku t-shirt. Some of the questions are easy, some of the questions are difficult, but overall, I think this is slightly on the medium level difficulty. Hi Sagar, good to see you again for the XAT streams. The reason we have selected slightly medium level questions is because I expect XAT Quant to be definitely on the more tougher side as compared to XAT Quant. That has been happening for the last few years. So that is what I would expect to happen this time also. We'll be giving 5 Cracku t-shirts, maximum of 5, based on how many people score above 70 marks. So out of 78, anybody who's scoring greater than 70 will get the free Cracku t-shirt. So please do join, go to cracku.in/live and then we will start today's session. Good afternoon, M. Good afternoon, Kaprekar's constant. Very nice to see Kaprekar's constant. For people who don't know what is Kaprekar's constant, so if you take any 4-digit number, like for example, say 1, 2, 3, 4, and you arrange the 4 digits in descending order, it will be 4, 3, 2, 1. And you arrange them in ascending order, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then subtract 1 from the other. What is 4, 3, 2, 1 minus 1, 2, 3, 4? This will be 7. 2 minus 3, this will be 1, I think this will be 8. This will be 0 and this will be 3. This is 3087. Now again arrange 3087 in descending and ascending order. So it will be 7830 and the reverse for that will be this is 8730, because the 4 digits when they are arranged in descending order will be 8730 and when they are arranged in ascending order this will be 0387. Again find the difference between these two. This will be 3, this will be 4, this will be I think 3 and this is 3. So you are getting 8343. Again continue doing the same. So for example, again if you are arranging 8343 in descending order, it will be 8433. If you are arranging them in ascending order, you will be 3348. Again find the difference, again do descending and ascending, and once you continue to do it, you will finally arrive at a constant called 6174. This is called the Kaprekar's constant. The reason it is a constant is because for 6174, if you are again arranging them in descending order, it will be 7641. And if you are arranging it in ascending order, it is 1467. The difference between these two is 6174. So any 4-digit number if you are taking, and if you arrange it like this, then you are finally going to get 6174. I think you will get it in 7 or 8 steps. That also I think has been somewhere proven. Which is very interesting. This guy Kaprekar, this person is actually an Indian mathematician from Maharashtra, and I always found this to be a pretty interesting number. So yeah, good to see all of this. Kaprekar's constant, I don't know what that guy's real name is, but anyway, let us go to cracku.in/live and we'll start today's session in exactly 2 minutes. Okay, please do like the stream, guys. We are close to 100 people are watching the stream live. Let us target 200 likes before the stream ends. Let us start the first question. The first question is on your screen. Let us see how many people will actually get it correct. In the meantime, I wanted to remind you of 2 things that we are doing. One, we are having a XAT decision making stream. It will be a marathon stream. It will be very, very useful. Anybody who is struggling with XAT decision making, I think should definitely attend it. It is at 2 p.m. tomorrow. That is, I think it is on Sunday. That is tomorrow. I think it will be 15th of December. This will be super useful. So definitely attend it. Secondly, many students who are looking to do an MBA always ask us how life after MBA looks like. What are the career opportunities and career growth trajectories. So we are conducting a Reddit Ask Me Anything. I'll post the link for it, or it will be on the chat. We have brought one of my batchmates from IIM Ahmedabad. She has worked for 13 years in Accenture, and she has recently quit to start her own social entrepreneurship. Very interesting career path as well as the future direction that she is taking in. So this is by a IIM alum. We are doing a Reddit Ask Me Anything. This will be on Monday at 9 p.m. We have started a subreddit called Cat Study Room, so you can find it over there. The Ask Me Anything. This also I think will be very useful, especially for you to understand how life after IIMA looks like. What are the career opportunities? Especially anybody who is interested in consulting, I think you are getting a very good chance of directly talking to somebody who had a very good career in consulting. If you are having any plans for social entrepreneurship also, or an NGO kind of a thing, you can definitely ask her. People might have doubts about how to improve their profile. What are the things that consults look at when they're actually shortlisting? All of these things before MBA, if you have a good idea, you can work on improving your profile. So definitely do check out the Reddit Ask Me Anything on Monday 9 p.m. With that being said, we still have 50 seconds. Let us see. Good afternoon to everyone, man. Good afternoon to Vanya Agarwal, Rishita Porwal, Ayushi Agarwal. Good afternoon to all of you. Okay, thank you when somebody is congratulating. Okay, thank you. Okay, let us solve this question. In this question, we are told that there are X number of students who drink only fruit juice. So only fruit juice is drunk by X students, and only. And Coke, only Coke is drunk by 2X people. Okay. 57 by X drink both fruit juice and Coke. And who drink neither is 57 by 3X. What does this tell us? It tells us that all of them have to be, first of all, whole numbers. You can't have 16.5 people, for example, drinking both fruit juice and Coke. It has to be either 16 or 17. This would imply that 57 by 3x, which is 19 by x, when you simplify it, has to be a number. So the value of x is either 1 or 19. These are the only two possibilities. Let us consider both the cases. If x is equal to 1, then let us draw a Venn diagram. This is fruit juice and this is Coke. What is the number of people who have had only fruit juice? That is equal to x, which will be 1. Number of people who had only Coke is 2x, which is 2. Number of people who had both fruit juice and Coke is 57 by x, which is 57. So in this particular case, the total number of people who had Coke is 59. Total number of people who had fruit juice is 58. Now what will happen if x is 19? If x is 19, again we have fruit juice and Coke. This is a Venn diagram. Number of people who had only fruit juice is x, so this is 19. Number of people who had only Coke is 38. Number of people who had fruit juice and Coke is 57 by x, but in this particular case, x is 19, so this is 3. So number of people who had Coke is 38 plus 3, which is 41. Number of people who had fruit juice is 19 plus 3, which is 22. So the number of people who had Coke is either 41 or 59. So the answer for this question is option D. Let us look at the next question. Harish is saying, are Cracku XAT mocks a good reflection of actual paper, or is it a confidence boosting paper? We try to make our mocks to be as close to the actual examination as possible. Uh, because of that reason, many people actually tell us that Cracku mocks are very difficult, because we try to make it very similar to the actual paper. So if you're doing well, it I think is a very good sign. All the best. Continue to take those mocks and ensure that you perform similarly on the day of the examination also. Royal Enfield is saying, CAT, some get solved in 1.5 minutes, but XAT questions are lengthy and tougher than CAT. What should be our mindset be while solving it? What is your quant attempt strategy? Very good question, man. I would recommend you to ask this question to Sally actually. She takes XAT regularly. I don't take XAT. But in my opinion, what I would do is, CAT has sectional timings. XAT doesn't have sectional timings. So anybody who is good at quant and who wants to score heavily in quant, what I would tell you is, first attempt the easy questions in XAT, in quant. Try to finish off some of the questions, and there will be some sitters. Try to answer the questions which can be done in 1.5 minutes first quickly. Go through the entire section, especially spend enough time on decision making, because many times people do well in all the sections but don't clear the cutoff of decision making. Let that not happen to you. So ensure that you spend time in all the sections, but keep like say 15 to 20 minutes extra towards the end. So once you keep that 15 to 20 minute extra, you can come back to it and you can try to score as much as you want in quant. That would be my strategy, where essentially if the paper is for say X hours, I would assume that it is for X minus 15 minutes and give those additional 15 minutes for quant. Okay, let us answer this question. Guys, please do like the stream. We have only 42 likes. A lot of people are watching the stream, so please do like the stream. Ram has a long rope with him. He cuts it into two parts. Let us assume that one part is of L length, other part is S length. L is the longer one, S is the shorter one. So overall, the original length of the rope is L plus S. Now, the ratio of the longer to shorter part, that is L by S, is 2/3 the ratio of the original length, which is L plus S, to the longer part divided by L. It is known that the difference between the two parts is 30 centimeters. Find the length of the smaller part. The difference between the lengths is 30 centimeters. So let us assume that the shorter path is S, the longer path is S plus 30, and therefore the original length is 2S plus 30. What is the required ratio? What the information we are given is that the ratio of the longer to shorter path is 2/3 the ratio of the original length, which is 2S plus 30, divided by the longer one, which is S plus 30. So here, if you simplify this, you are going to get a quadratic equation. Once you solve it, you will get the answer. The quadratic equation, if you are simplifying, will be 3 times S plus 30 whole square is equal to 2S into 2S plus 30. This is 3S square plus 180S plus 2700 is equal to 4S square plus 60S. This will be S square minus 120S minus 2700 is equal to 0. So the value of S is 120 plus square root of 120 square plus 4 times 2700 is 10,800 divided by 2. Or the value of S is 60 plus, we'll divide all of this by 2. 120 square is 14,400. You divide it by 2, you are going to get, basically you have to divide it by 4 because you are taking 2 out of the square root, plus 2700. This is equal to 60 plus square root of 6300. The reason we are doing all of it is because we want to find this. Square root of 6300 will be approximately 79, approximately, because 6400 is 80 square. 6300 will be approximately 79. So this will be approximately 139. So the answer is option A. We are told that the smaller part will be between 130 centimeters to 140 centimeters. Let us look at the next question. Somebody wants me to stop talking when I'm solving. If you have a problem with what I'm saying, I think you should exit the video. There is absolutely no reason for you to be here if you have an issue with what I'm actually saying. Yeah, Prayash is saying, sir, I don't want to give the answer live. What do I do to give the answer for live? Prayash, please go to cracku.in/live. If you go to cracku.in/live, you can actually attempt it as a test format, which is what most people actually do. If that is not the case, I think you can just even message in the chat. I think it should be fine. Don't worry. Hi sir, will the introduction of the calculator make the quant section more difficult? I don't even, I am surprised with what they were actually saying. They are saying that it won't even be a basic calculator, it will be a scientific calculator. This is the first time XAT is actually doing it. So let us wait and see. But it is possible that they will actually, I don't know, if I have to venture a guess, again, take my words with a grain of salt. I don't have any additional information as compared to you. My guess would be that maybe there will be some questions on logarithms. So definitely go through logarithms, because I can't understand what is the need of scientific calculator otherwise. So go through some logarithms. Maybe some of the logarithms might be asked, like how many zeros will be there at the end, how many digits will be there in a number, what is the number of zeros after the decimal. We are actually going to have a question which is similar to this. What is the number of zeros after the decimal before the first number? So those kind of things might be asked, because otherwise I fail to see what will be the need of having a scientific calculator. Okay, in this question we are told that there are two pipes who fill the tank in 12 hours and 18 hours. So let us assume that this is the tank. Normally I always draw the tank so that it gives me an intuitive understanding of what exactly we are required to solve. There are two taps, one of them fills it in 12 hours and one of them fills it in 18 hours. Normally whenever you are given a question like this, where you are given the time it takes for somebody to do a job, you have to convert it into efficiency, because efficiency can be added, time cannot be added. So let us assume that the volume of a tank, volume of this particular tank, is the LCM of the times taken, which is 12 and 18. What is the least common multiple of 12 and 18? This will be 36 liters. So let us assume that the volume of the tank is 36 liters. You can assume this to be any number. If you assume this to be a multiple of 12 and 18, the calculations become easy. So the first pipe fills it in 12 hours. So every hour it is going to fill 3 liters. The second pipe fills it in 18 hours. So every hour it is going to fill 2 liters. So if both of them are working together, it will be 5 liters per hour. So if both of them are working together, what is the time it should take? The time it should take is the total volume, which is 36 liters, divided by how much they fill in 1 hour, which is 5. So it should be done in 7.2 hours. But now we are told that there is some leak. And because of this particular leak, it takes 36 more minutes to fill the tank. 36 minutes is, if you are converting it into hours, it is 36 divided by 60, which is 0.6 hours. So the actual time taken to fill the tank will be 7.8 hours. So what is the amount of volume that is filled every hour? It will be 5 divided by 7.8, which is, sorry, it is 36 divided by 7.8. Because the volume of the tank is 36 liters, it is taking 7 hours to fill the tank. So what is the total volume that is filled in 1 hour? It is 36 divided by 7.8. 36 divided by 7.8 is 360 divided by 78. You can divide both of them with 6. So this is 60 divided by 13. So 60 divided by 13 liters are now filled every hour. If there was no pipe leak, 5 liters per hour is filled. But because of the pipe leak, we are getting 60 by 13 liters filled every hour. So how much water is the leakage actually emptying every hour? It will be 5 minus 60 by 13. This is equal to 5 by 13 liters. So every hour, because of the leak, 5 by 13 liters are being removed from the tank. So if the tank is fully filled, the volume is 36 liters. This leakage is removing 5 by 13 liters every hour. So the time it takes to be completely empty will be 36 divided by 5 by 13, which is equal to 36 into 13 by 5 hours. You can simplify it. You are going to get the answer as 93.6 hours, which is option A. Let us look at the next question. Krishna Khanna is saying, hi sir, I'm not even giving XAT. Have a very good score in CAT. Just joined for the daily ritual. I had my prep. Hope I get my second t-shirt. Okay man, fantastic. Let's see. Very good to see. Okay. My advice for you is, if you have applied to XAT, please do take it. Even if your score is very good in CAT, I would recommend you to take XAT also, just because it will give you some less stress. Because if one interview goes poorly, who knows, you might get more stress. All of those things are avoidable. You lose nothing by just taking an examination, especially if you have already applied. But very good. I hope that you actually do well in today's test also. In this question, we are told that a flight is traveling for a destination which is 11,200 kilometers away and was supposed to take off at 6:30 a.m. So 6:30 a.m. it was supposed to take off, but due to bad weather, the departure got delayed by 3 hours. Okay, so it went at 9:30 a.m. The pilot increased the average speed of the airplane by 100 kilometers per hour from the initially planned average speed to reduce the overall delay to 1 hour. So let us assume that the original speed is s and the original time it takes is t hours. So s into t is 11,200, which is the total distance it has to travel. But now the speed is increased by 100 kilometers per hour. So now it is traveling at s plus 100. And what is the time of travel? The time of travel is t minus 2. Why is it t minus 2? Because it is starting 3 hours late. So normally if it has taken t hours, it would have reached also 3 hours late. But because the speed was increased, it only reaches 1 hour late. So it was making up for 2 hours of the delay. So this would imply that the time of travel is, instead of t hours earlier, it is 2 hours lesser. So it is t minus 2. This also is 11,200. So we have two equations and we have two unknowns. We should calculate the value of s and t. Then we can calculate what will happen if the average speed is increased by 350 kilometers per hour. So this will be st plus 100t minus 2s minus 200 is 11,200. But st is equal to 11,200. So this can be cancelled. This would imply that 2s is equal to 100t minus 200, or the value of s is 50t minus 100. We can simplify, we can substitute it in this particular equation. So t into 50t minus 100 is equal to 11,200. We can divide the entire equation with 50. So t into t minus 2 is equal to 224, or t square minus 2t minus 224 is equal to 0. 224 is 14 into 16. So t square minus 16t plus 14t minus 224 is 0. So t minus 16 into t plus 14 is equal to 0. This would imply that the original time t is 16 hours. So the value of s is equal to 50t minus 100. So that is 800 minus 100, which is 700 kilometers per hour. So now if the speed is increased by 350 kilometers per hour, so now the new speed will be 1050 kilometers per hour. The total distance it has to travel remains the same. It is 11,200. So the time taken at this new speed will be 11,200 divided by 1050. You can cancel these two. What is 1120 divided by 105? We can divide both of them with 5. So this is 224 divided by 21. We can now divide both of them with 7. So this will be equal to 32 divided by 3, which is 10 hours 40 minutes. It starts at 9:30 a.m. because of the delay, and it takes 10 hours 40 minutes to travel. So the time it would reach is 8:10 p.m. So the answer for this question is option D, which is 8:10 p.m. Let us look at the next question. Ayush Agarwal sir, could you please repeat why t minus 2? Okay. So it was supposed to start at 6:30 a.m. and it would reach after t hours. But now it is starting at 9:30 a.m. That is, here there is, let me draw it here. From 6:30, if it travels, this is t hours. Now it is traveling at 9:30 a.m. And if it traveled at the same speed, it would reach after 3 hours. So this is 3 hours of delay. This would have been t hours. This is the original time, that is t hours. But now because the speed is increased, this is delayed by only 1 hour. So this is 1 hour. This would imply that this has to be 2 hours. That is, instead of reaching at t hours, it is reaching 2 hours earlier. So this overall journey will be, instead of t hours, it will be t minus 2. Normally the delay has to be 3 hours, but now the delay is only 1 hour. So the speed, the plane was able to make up for 2 hours of delay. So that's why the travel time is only t minus 2. Shreyas Shelukar is saying, hello sir, I'm solving the DM sets in Cracku app, and when I solve the same set as previous year's question, I get the answer wrong. What should be done? Okay. Just practice more, man, and don't worry about it. I think sometimes we are too negative. Sometimes only the things that we got wrong we will remember. Many times I think if you're practicing, you will also get a lot of questions correct, which I think you won't remember. If you're answering previous year's questions, I think that is a very good thing. Okay. Kaprekar's constant saying, my method are right, but I'm taking time, so I'll solve it. I think it is okay, man. I think basically speed improves with more practice. There is no like shortcut. The point is, if your methods are correct, and if you don't doubt yourself, and you know what is the right method when you look at a question, I think your speed will improve automatically. Many times when you question yourself, or many times when you are not sure which method to use, you think 2-3 methods and then finally come to the correct conclusion. All of these things also waste time. With practice, immediately after looking at a question, you know exactly what is the method to use. Then your speed will increase. That's why I always insist on students solving a lot of questions. In this question, we are told that the selling price is fixed at 160 per plate. 300 plates of biryani are to be sold. For each increase in selling price by 10 per plate, 10 fewer plates are sold. So let us assume that the price is 160 plus 10x. Then the number of plates sold will be 300 minus 10x. Because if it is 160, 300 plates are sold. Whenever you are increasing it by 10 rupees, 10 plates less are sold. And it incurs a cost of 120 per plate. Okay. So what is the cost price? Cost price is 120 into, that is per plate, into the number of plates sold is 300 minus 10x. And it is decided that the selling price will never be less than the cost price. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Moreover, due to capacity constraints, more than 400 plates cannot be produced in a day. The selling price for any given day is the same for all the plates and can only be a multiple of 10. What is the maximum profit that FS can achieve in a day? Okay. So price is 160 plus 10x and number of plates sold is 300 minus 10x. So what is the total revenue? Total revenue or the total selling price is price into plate sold, which is 160 plus 10x into 300 minus 10x. What is the total cost price? The total cost price will be 120 into 300 minus 10x. So the total profit will be the total selling price minus the total cost price. Let us take 300 minus 10x common. If you are taking 300 minus 10x common, this will be 160 plus 10x minus 120, which is 40 plus 10x. We are looking to maximize this. What should the value of x be? In these kind of maximizations, one simple trick that I use is, this is basically the product of two expressions. One expression is 300 minus 10x. Another expression is 40 plus 10x. You'll notice that one is something minus 10x, other one is something plus 10x. And we have to just change the value of x. If you add both of them, the sum is 340. So essentially this is something like, there are two constants, a plus b is equal to 340. What is the maximum value of a into b? This will happen when a is equal to b. And both of them have to be equal to 170. So in this particular case, you want this to be equal to 170 and this to be equal to 170. Both of them will happen at the same time, and that will happen when x is equal to 13. And therefore the maximum profit will be when this is 170 and this is 170. And the profit when maximized is 170 into 170, which is equal to 28,900, which is option B. Let us look at the next question. Please do like the stream, guys. We have only 59 likes. Let us try to get to at least 250 likes before the stream ends. Pranjal Dixit is saying, sir, I'm weak in VRC section. I'm thinking of buying Cracku's XAT course. Will it be helpful for VLR sections? I scored only 13 in VRC in CAT 2024. Overall is 92. Also, if you can suggest me good colleges on this score, Gym Fresher. Pranjal, I would say that you do MBA only once in your life. So try to, if you have already scored 92 and if you can clearly identify that the only weak area is VRC, I would tell you that if your 10th score is good, if your 12th score is good, that is if your academic profile is good, and if you have a job, try to take CAT again or try to be very focused on that right now. Because joining a college as a fresher, when there is clearly a good chance of doing better next year, I would say is something that you should be really sure about. I would say you can definitely enroll to the Cracku XAT course. It will definitely help you with both decision making as well as verbal. If you're looking for the details of the course, please do send a mail to support@cracku.in. And some of our staff members will get in touch with you. Somebody is saying he got 85 in slot 1. I was so happy starting में, but अभी लग रहा है कि कुछ मिलेगा ही नहीं. Cracku के स्कोर कैलकुलेटर देख के 97% बन रहा है. XAT के लिए पढ़ने का मन नहीं कर रहा है. What should I do? देखो, मुझे लगता है कि लोगों को समझना चाहिए कि बाकी कॉम्पिटिटर्स, बाकी स्टूडेंट्स पढ़ रहे हैं. जो भी बैठ के सोच रहे हैं कि मुझे पढ़ने का मन नहीं कर रहा है, तो उसमें मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? मुझे लगता है कि लोगों को पता होना चाहिए कि ये काफ़ी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम है. XAT का नंबर ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन इज 1.4 lakhs, जो पहले साल से ज़्यादा है. बाकी लोग ये नहीं बोल रहे कि मुझे पढ़ने का मन नहीं कर रहा है. हाँ ठीक है, मतलब थोड़ा डिसअपॉइंटिंग है कैट का स्कोर परसेंटाइल. शायद तुम सोच रहे थे कि अच्छा होगा, अभी तक रिजल्ट्स नहीं आए, तो हम ही देखते हैं कि कैसा होगा. हैविंग सेड दैट, XAT एग्जाम भी है, XAT कॉलेज भी काफ़ी अच्छा है, और मुझे लगता है कि अपने आप को मोटिवेट करना भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्किल है जो लोगों को सीखना चाहिए. एक अच्छे मैनेजर को ये पता होना चाहिए कि वो अपने आप को कैसे मोटिवेट कर सकता है और अपने जूनियर्स को, अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को कैसे मोटिवेट कर सकता है. स्पेशली जब बैड न्यूज़ होता है, जब भी डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन होता है, उसी टाइम पे मोटिवेटेड रहना काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो सोचो, ढूंढो, try to find inspiration from somewhere, and then you'll have to work hard. There is no other alternative. You have to work hard. Life is about working hard. Okay, in this question we are told that plan A is 4-year term deposit at 10% per annum where the interest is compounded annually. Okay, so what is the interest? Because we know that the amount invested is 10,000. In plan A, the total amount will be principal, which is 10,000, into 1 plus interest, which is 1.1, to the power 4. Because we know that in compound interest, the amount that a person receives at the end of a time period is the principal into 1 plus rate of return to the power n, where n is the number of years it is invested. This R is basically expressed in percentage. If you are told that it is 10%, this will be 1.1. You can also express this as 10 by 100. That is small r by 100. That also is fine. This is the amount. So if you simplify this, this will be 14,641. This is the total amount. So the compound interest will be amount minus principal, which is equal to 4,641. In plan B, the amount is invested only for 2 years. The rate of interest is the same. But because it is compounded semi-annually, the effective rate of interest will be half of this. This is basically when the interest is compounded annually. If it is compounded semi-annually, the principal will be P into 1 plus R by 2 to the power 2n. Because now the interest is being compounded semi-annually, the effective rate of interest is halved and the total time period is doubled. So in this particular case, the amount will be 10,000 into, you divide the interest rate by 2, so this is 1.05, whole to the power 4, even though it is only 2 years, because it is being compounded every 6 months, that is effectively 4 time periods. This you can simplify. Let me calculate it. This is 1.05. I don't know whether to the power is there here or not, but let me multiply it with 1.05 into 1.1025. This will be approximately 12,155. That is the amount. So the compound interest in the second case again is amount minus principal, which will come to 2,155. This is the compound interest in the first instance. This is the compound interest in the second instance. So the difference between the compound interest will be approximately 2,500. So the correct answer is that I1 is greater than I2 by around 2,500 rupees. Let us look at the next question. Saurav Bhatnagar is saying, maybe if you use Hindi more often, it will help us be motivated. Somebody is saying, Deepanshu Gautam is saying, should speak more Hindi often. Yeah, sure. Whenever a question is asked in Hindi, I will speak in Hindi. Because otherwise on a normal day-to-day basis, I don't speak Hindi often. But if a question is asked in Hindi, when I'm responding to it, it is easier for me to actually speak in Hindi. So if you want me to speak in Hindi, ask your question in Hindi, then I'll answer in Hindi. Others Rikshit is saying, which topic should we put extra focus if you are prepared for CAT? I would say put some more effort on geometry, because I have noticed that geometry questions in XAT, in general, I find quant of XAT to be definitely on the more tougher side as compared to CAT, but especially that is true for geometry. So put some more emphasis on geometry. Also look for trigonometry, because definitely some questions are asked in trigonometry in XAT. Very few trigonometry questions are asked in CAT. And like somebody is saying, maybe combinatorics true, probably yes. That also I think is true. But again, the focus should be on arithmetic, algebra, geometry, but on a tougher side. Try to solve tougher questions and focus more on geometry. Thank you. Okay, in this question, we are told that the average marks of section A of XYZ public school in class 10th examinations is 85%. Okay, so A, it is 85%. Number of students in sections A, B, C are in the ratio of 2:5:3. So you have A, B, and C. The ratio is 2:5:3. Okay. The ratio of the average marks of students of section B and C is 2:1. So if you assume that the average marks of students of section B is 2x, the average of students of section C, thank you, is x. So what is the total average marks? We are given the percentage score of A, B, and C. We are also told the ratio of the number of students, so you can calculate the average marks. This will be 2 into 85%, which is 170, plus 5 into 2x, which is 10x, sorry, plus 3 into x, which is 3x, divided by the total number of students, which is 2 plus 5 plus 3, which is 10. This we are told is equal to 82. You can simplify this. 170 plus 13x is equal to 820, or the value of x is equal to 50. So C is 50%, B is 100%. Okay, all the students in B scored full marks. Overall average. Okay, find the ratio of the total marks obtained by students of section A and B. So we are looking for the average marks. No, we are looking for the ratio of the total marks obtained by students of section A and B. So this is 2 into 85%, which is 170, is to 5 into 100%, which is 500. So the required ratio is 17:50, which will be option D. Let us look at the next question. Arav Singh is saying, what can be a comfortable score to clear quant's cutoff? If it is in XAT, let us wait for the paper first, because the cutoffs will vary, man. If you're looking at, for example, the percentiles of CAT of last year and this year, it makes very little sense to discuss last year's percentile with this year's percentile, because the paper was much easier. So similarly for XAT also, I would want to hold off before we actually look at it. But typically, I think it will be around 8 or 9 marks, if I'm not wrong. But again, let's focus on preparing well and trying to give your best in the examination. Don't put any particular number in your head. Richik, you should be comfortable with the basic applications of trigonometry. That is, if trigonometry is used in solving any right-angled triangles problems, that you should be comfortable with. You should obviously know sine square A plus cos square A. I think no need of knowing sine of A plus B. I don't think that is needed, or tan of A plus B. I don't think that also is needed. But being comfortable with at least the basics of trigonometry, I think will be helpful. Okay, go for it, Patel, Aditya, Shivitang. We'll try to get 20 correct. Okay, go for it. In this question, we are told that the roots of a polynomial p of x is 2x cube minus 11x square plus 17x minus 6 are the radii of three concentric circles. So basically, we have to find out the roots of this this polynomial, this cubic equation. Whenever you are required to calculate the roots, try to guess whether one of the root is 1. So p of x is 2x cube minus 11x square plus 17x minus 6, because normally it won't happen that if you are asked to calculate the roots of a cubic equation, the roots will be fractions. Nobody wants you to calculate the roots when they are fractions. So something or the other has to work. So try for x is equal to 1, then try for x is equal to minus 1, then try for x is equal to 2, and try for x is equal to minus 2. In nearly most of the cases, you will be able to get one root. In this particular case, for example, if you are putting x is equal to 1, this will be 2 minus 11 plus 17 minus 6, which is not equal to 0. If this was equal to 0, we would have said x minus 1 is a root, but it is not equal to 0. If you are trying for x is equal to minus 1, then this will be minus 2, minus 11, minus 17, minus 6, again not equal to 0. This would imply that x plus 1 also is not a root. Let us try for x is equal to 2. X is equal to 2 will be 2 into 2 cube is 8, minus 11 into 4, plus 17 into 2, minus 6. 11 into 4 is minus 44, 17 into 2 is 34, this is minus 10. 16 minus 10 minus 6 is 0. This would imply that x minus 2 is a root. Because when you are substituting x is equal to 2, the polynomial is becoming 0. This would imply that x minus 2 is a root of the given polynomial, which is a cubic equation. So let us try to simplify this. This is 2x cube minus 11x square is 4x square minus 7x square plus 17x is plus 14x plus 3x minus 6. This is 2x minus 2x square minus 7x plus 3 into x minus 2. This can be further simplified to 2x square minus 6x minus x plus 3 into x minus 2. This is 2x minus 1 into x minus 3 into x minus 2. So the three roots are 1 by 2, 2 and 3. Or the ratio of the roots, this is 1 by 2, 2 and 3 is 1 is to 4 is to 6. That is the ratio of the radii. So the ratio of the area, which will be in the square of the radius, because the area of a circle is pi r square. We have the ratio of the radius. So the ratio of the area will be the ratio of the squares, which will be 1 is to 16 is to 36. So the answer for this question is option D. We have to do it from largest to smallest. So that will be 36 is to 16 is to 1. Let us look at the next question. In quants, currently I'm scoring 10 to 15. How to push it to 20 plus? Like always, what works in CAT will work even in XAT. Try to first solve the previous year's paper so that you will get a good idea. XAT previous papers are uploaded on Cracku site, so just use them and try to solve as many quant questions as you can. Okay, what is the question? Somebody is asking questions. Sir, I don't like arithmetic at all despite coming from math background. I find algebra geometry very doable. Should I completely ignore it and focus on non-arithmetic exclusively? I think, I don't know, man. I know my answer won't make you happy, but I feel that arithmetic is one of the most important topics. So I can't, with a normal mind, tell you that you can ignore arithmetic. It is tough, but you have to focus on it. At least the simple questions, I think you should definitely get it correct. It is saying, sir, would be grateful if you please conduct a session for decision making also, sir. We are doing a stream on DM tomorrow at 2 p.m. Sally will be taking it. It will be very, very useful for students who are preparing for XAT. From 2 p.m. it will go until 5 p.m. Tomorrow, that is, I think 15th of December, definitely do tune in. Okay. Pranjal Dikshit, I have snap exam tomorrow. Any tips, sir? Just go with a peaceful mind, with a calm mind. I think you'll do well. What time is it? In the morning or in? I don't know the timing for snap exam. Is it in the morning or in the afternoon? Please do let me know. In a school, the number of students in each class from class 1 to class 10 in that order are in an arithmetic progression. So we have class 1, class 2, class 10. The total number of students from class 1 to class 5 is twice the number of students from class 6 to class 10. So the number of students from the first 5 classes is twice the number of students from the last 5 classes. So this would imply that the arithmetic progression is decreasing. So if you assume that the first one has A, the second one will have A minus D, third one will have A minus 2D, the fourth one and basically the fifth one will have A minus 4D, the sixth one will have A minus 5D, the 10th one will have A minus 9D. So the sum of the first 5 classes will be 5 by 2 into 2A minus 4D. The way I calculate arithmetic progression sum is, if I know the first term and the last term, I'll just add both of them up and multiply it with the number of terms, divide the entire thing by 2. For example, in this particular case, the first term is A minus 5D for the sum from the 6th to the 10th. The last one is A minus 9D. The sum of both of them is 2A minus 14D. And number of terms again is 5. And you divide it by 2. That will be the sum. But what we are told is that the first sum is twice the second sum. So you can cancel this. You can cancel 5 by 2. So 2A minus 4D is equal to 4A minus 28D. Or the value of 2A is equal to 24D, or the value of A is equal to 12D. This would imply that the first one will have 12D, the second one will have 11D, the third one will have 10D, and so on. The 10th one is going to have 3D. Now, the total number of students from class 1 to class 4 is 462. What is the number of students in class 4? It is 90. The sum of all of them is 462. You can calculate the sum. This is 12D plus 11D plus 10D plus 9D, that is 42D, is equal to 462, or the value of D is 11. We are required to calculate the number of students in class 6. The number of students in class 6 in 5 will be 8D, in class 6 will be 7D. This will be 7 into 11, which is 77. So the answer for this question is option D. Let us look at the next question. Salom Christie is saying, why don't you give ZAT every year like cat? Sally takes ZAT every year. She primarily works on the ZAT mocks. The reason we take the exam every year is to ensure that our mocks are reflective of the actual difficulty of the examination, which I think is very important. Unless you take it, I don't think the difficulty of the examination will be of the mocks will be reflected in our mocks. For that reason, I take ZAT, I take CAT. Both of us actually take CAT because we want to put in as much effort as we can in the mock preparation. For ZAT, the ZAT mocks are primarily prepared by Siley. I don't really work too much on the ZAT mocks. Because of it, I don't take the ZAT exam. In this question, we are asked to calculate the sum of all the integral values of x for which log of the base is 12, log of the base is 4, log of the base is 3 into x square minus 16x plus 145 is less than 0. So if this is the case, we can just simplify it. If you are removing the first log, 12 will go to the right hand side. So this will be log of 4 log of 3 into x square minus 16x plus 145 is less than 1. Again, if you are taking 4 to the other side, this will be log of 3, the base, and x squared minus 16x plus 145 is less than 4. Again, if you are removing the logarithm, it will be x squared minus 16x plus 145 is less than 3 to the power 4, which is 81. This would imply that x squared minus 16x plus 64 is less than 0. Or this is x minus 8 whole square is less than 0. Now, if x minus 8 whole square is less than 0, this is a perfect square. No perfect square is actually less than 0. This would imply that no value of x exists. Therefore, the sum of all the integral values of x for which this inequality is true is 0. Let us look at the next question. Okay, what is your request, Harsh? Somebody is having a request. Whatever is the request, can you please type again so that I can see? Okay, sir, can you ask Siley ma'am to help us with the video solutions for DM section mocks? I'll try to tell her. That. Basically, recording of videos take time. So that is the only issue. But let us see. She is doing a session tomorrow. So you can ask her directly tomorrow at 2 p.m. Guys, please do like the stream. Let us at least get 100 likes before the stream ends. In this question, we are told that there is a right angle triangle ABC. This is right angled at B, and two circles, each of radius R, are drawn inside a triangle in such a way that one of them touches AB and one of them touches BC. One of them touches AB and BC, and another one touches AC and BC. The two circles also touch each other as shown here. AB is given to be 18 centimeters, BC is given to be 24 centimeters. Then find the value of R. So what is the value of the hypotenuse? AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. This will be 18 square plus 24 square, which will be equal to, you can calculate it because they are in the ratio of 3:4. The hypotenuse will be 5. So this will be 30 square, or the value of AC is 30 centimeters. Why is this important? Because now let us draw the centers of the two circles. Let us connect them like this. This will be equal to the radius. This also will be equal to the radius. This also is equal to the radius. This also is equal to the radius. We are just drawing perpendiculars. So this is R, this is R, this is R, this is R, and this is R. Similarly, whenever you are given a circle, in most of the questions, it makes a good sense to connect the center of the circle to the point of intersection of the tangent and the circle, because we know immediately that that will be 90 degrees. So we'll connect this also over here. This also is R. So this is 90, this is 90. Now, if you are trying to identify, the way I would solve it is, I would continue this parallel line like this. This line will be parallel to BC and I'll continue it. Essentially, if you are putting some points, it will become easy to explain. Let us assume that the center over here is O1. Let this center over here be O2. Let the point, the perpendiculars, let this be D and let this be E. And let this point over here be F. What we know is that the length of BC overall is 24 centimeters. That is given to us. Similarly, if you are looking at the value of the angle C over here, this is angle C. What is the value of sine C? Sine C is opposite side, which is 18, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 30, which is 3/5. What is the value of cos C? Cos C is adjacent side, which is 24, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 30. So this is 4/5. Similarly, tan C is equal to 3/4, which is sin C divided by cos C. Why is this important? Because now if you are looking at BC, the value of BD will be R. Because if this is F, BD will be equal to O1F, which is the radius of the circle, which will be R. Similarly, DE is equal to 2R. That is equal to the length of O1, O2, which is the distance between the centers of the two circles. So this is 2R. If we are able to figure out the length of EC, we can easily, in terms of R, we can actually calculate the value of R. That will be our strategy. Now, if you're looking for the length of R, we will use the triangle, this is O2, this is G. We will use the triangle O2FG. Because if you are using the value of O2FG, this is 90 degrees. Like I mentioned earlier, whenever you are given a tangent and a circle, try to connect the point of intersection of the tangent to the center of the circle, that will be 90 degrees. So this triangle O2FG is a right angle triangle. We also know one of the angles. This angle will be C. Because that line is perpendicular to the base, that is O2F is parallel to BC. So that angle will be the same, that is C. This would tell us that O2G divided by O2F is equal to sin C. O2G is basically R. So O2F is equal to R by sin C, which is equal to 5R by 3. So this over here is equal to 5R by 3. Let us draw a perpendicular from F to BC also. If you call this H, so the value of EH is equal to 5R by 3. This over here is 5R by 3. This is perpendicular. Now we need to calculate the value of HC. So for that, let us look at the triangle FHC. In that, the length of FH is again equal to R. This is R, this is R, so this also will be R. If that is R, we can calculate the value of FH, which is equal to R, divided by HC, which is the length that we need to calculate. This will be equal to tan C, which is equal to 3 by 4. FH is this one, which is equal to R. So this is R. So the value of HC is equal to 4R by 3. So this over here is 4R by 3. Overall, the length of BC is R plus 2R plus 5R by 3 plus 4R by 3. 5R by 3 plus 4R by 3 is 3R. So overall, the length of BC will be equal to 6R, which is equal to 24 centimeters. Or the value of R is 4 centimeters. So the answer for this question is option B. For people who didn't understand, our strategy is very simple. Let me clear all of this out. From the center of this circle and the center of this circle, I'm going to join both of them. We'll assume that the radius is R. So this is R, this is R. I'll draw perpendiculars here. And this length will be 2R. Similarly, this will be R. So this also is R. If I can find out the value of this length in terms of R, I will be done, because then I can equate the value of R to 24, that expression, and calculate the value of R. So I'll draw a perpendicular like this. I'll draw a line which is parallel to the base BC, and I'll also join this one over here. This length I can calculate. This length, if I calculate using the fact that this also will be angle C, this length will be 5R by 3. So I draw a perpendicular like this. So this length is 5R by 3. Now I need to just calculate this length. If I calculate this length, I'll get the total value of the base BC in terms of R. I'll again use that this is C, and I know the value of sin C and tan C and cos C to calculate the length of this one, which will be 4R by 3. So overall, the length of the base is R plus 2R plus 5R by 3 plus 4R by 3. This has to equal 24. You can simplify this, you will get that the value of R is 4 centimeters, which is option B. Let us look at the next question. Now this is, I think the earlier question was actually from a previous year's paper of XAT. You can see that trigonometry was heavily used, and if you use it, even then it is a lengthy question. But those kind of questions are actually asked. Somebody is saying tan C by 2 is R divided by 24 minus 3R. I think that can be done. But for that, you need to know the value of what is tan of C by 2 in terms of tan C. If you know the formula, I think you can use it. Okay. In this question, we are told that there is one guy called Mohanlal who is a prosperous farmer. He had a square land of side 2 kilometers. So let us assume that this is a square. Okay. In the current season, he decides to have some fun. He marks 2 distinct points on one of the diagonals of the land. So let us draw the diagonal. This is the diagonal and 2 points were marked on it. Okay. Using these points as centers, he constructs 2 circles. Each of this circle falls completely within the land and he touches at least 2 sides of the land. Okay. The radii of both the circles is equal to 2 by 3 kilometers. So let us assume that. I hope this works. I think this is fine. So this is one circle and this is the second circle. Okay. Approximately it looks like this. This is fine. Okay. And he plants potatoes in the overlapping portion. Okay. In this overlapping portion, he planted potatoes. Calculate the area on which Mohanlal planted the overall potatoes. Let us assume that the square is A, B, C, D. Let the center of the first circle be O1. Let the center of the second circle be O2. The radius of both the circles is the same. That is given. That is equal to 2 by 3. For the sake of this, this is 2 by 3. So now if we draw a perpendicular from O1 to this, again point of intersection of the tangent, this will be 2 by 3. This will be 2 by 3. Similarly, from O2, also if you draw perpendiculars, this will be 2 by 3. The radius of the second circle, this also will be 2 by 3. So this is 2 by 3. This is 2 by 3. So now we can actually calculate the length of O1, O2 because the side of the square is 2 kilometers. So if you're looking at O1, O2, this is O1, this is O2. This length is 2 by 3. This length is 2 by 3. So the O1 and O2, the x coordinate essentially horizontally, the difference will be 2 minus 2 by 3 minus 2 by 3 because the side of the square is 2 kilometers. So essentially we are saying that this over here, this will be 2 minus 2 by 3 minus 2 by 3 because this is 2 by 3, this is 2 by 3. That will be 2 minus 4 by 3 which is actually equal to 2 by 3. Similarly, this length over here, the vertical difference, because this length of BC is 2 kilometers, this will be 2 minus this 2 by 3 minus this 2 by 3, which will again be 2 by 3. So the length of O1, O2 will be basically 2 by 3 square plus 2 by 3 square. You take the square root. Just to avoid the square roots and all, if you assume that this is R, this will be R root 2. Now let us just look at those 2 circles. This is one circle, the radius is R. This is another circle, the radius is R. This is O1. This is O2. This distance is R root 2. This is R. This also is R. This also is R. And this also is R. So immediately you will figure out that this is 90 degrees because you have 3 sides of a triangle R, R and R root 2. So that will be 90 degrees. This also is 90 degrees. This also is 90 degrees. This also is 90 degrees because this is a rhombus. All the 4 sides are equal to R. One of the angles is equal to 90 degrees. So you can prove that this is actually a perfect square. So now we are required to calculate the area of overlap. If you are required to calculate the area of overlap, just draw a line over here. If this is X and this is Y, what is the area of the triangle O1XY? O1XY, the triangle is equal to 1 by 2 into R, which is R square by 2. What is the area of the sector O1XY? This sector. The area of this sector, because this angle is 90 degrees, will be 1/4 of the area of the circle, which will be 1 by 4 into pi R square. So from the area of the sector, if you are removing the area of the triangle, you are going to get the area of this particular one. So that area will be equal to pi R square by 4 minus R square by 2. You multiply it by 2 to get this area also on the other side. So essentially we are saying that you have a circle like this, you have another circle like this. You are first calculating that this angle over here is 90 degrees. So from that, you are calculating the area of the triangle. The area of this triangle, this is O1 XY. The area of the triangle is R square by 2. Then you are calculating the area of the sector, this sector. That will be pi R square by 4. If you're subtracting from the area of the sector, the area of this triangle, you're going to get this particular area. That will be pi r square by 4 minus r square by 2. You multiply it by 2 to add even this side's area. That will be pi r square by 2 minus r square. Let us now just simplify it. This is r square into pi minus 2 by 2. R is 2 by 3, so r square is 4 by 9. So the required answer is 4 by 9 into pi minus 2 by 2. This is 2, which is equal to 2 by 9 into pi minus 2. So the answer for this question is option D. Let us look at the next question. People who want to connect with me, I'm actually active on one subreddit. It is called Cat Study Room. We have recently started it. Normally, it is difficult to interact with students on WhatsApp because I get a lot of WhatsApp. So it is difficult to really reply to every student. So sometimes I'm not really active on WhatsApp. But on Reddit, especially if there are questions which multiple people are asking, which I can easily figure out based on the upvotes, I will definitely be active on this particular subreddit. On the other subreddit, I'm not super active because the word Cracku is actually banned in that subreddit. So it is difficult for me to really post anything. But if you want to interact with me or Saili or any of the teams from Cracku, you can definitely go to Cat Study Room. We are trying to do Reddit, Ask Me Anythings with a lot of corporate people because I have a lot of friends who are alum of these institutions. Many of them are batchmates. So I'm requesting each one of them to come once a week or so just to answer questions that students who are preparing for CAT might have about what life after MBA is. So the first part of that, we are doing a Reddit AMA on Monday at 9 p.m. We are doing it with one batchmate of mine who has worked for 13 years in Accenture, and now she has recently quit it to start a social entrepreneurship. So many students might have doubts about what exactly does consulting look like. Okay, what are the parameters in which shortlists actually come? What are the people who actually join them? What does their profile actually look? Can we do something to improve our profile before the consulting shortlist happen, because you might have some time before the results actually come. So anybody who has any such doubts, you can definitely tune into this Reddit, ask me anything on Monday. So in this question, we are told that the ratio of incomes of P and Q are in the ratio of 16:9. So we have P and Q, the ratio of incomes is 16:9. So let us assume that this is 16x and this is 9x. And the ratio of their expenditures is 8:5. So this is 8y and this is 5y. So the savings will be 16x minus 8y. And this will be 9x minus 5y. Now what we know is that the savings of P is 220% more than that of Q. So this is 3.2 times this. Basically what we are told is 16x minus 8y is equal to 3.2 into 9x minus 5y. This is equal to 28.8x minus 16y. This is 16x minus 8y. This would tell us that 12.8x is equal to 8y, or the value of y is 1.6x. So this would imply that the expenditure of P is 8 into 1.6, which is 12.8x. And this is 5 into 1.6x, which is 8x. This would imply that the savings of P is 16x minus 12.8x, which is 3.2x. And that of Q is 9x minus 8x, which is x. What we are told is there is another person called R. Now R spends 25% less than P. So R is going to spend 25% less than 16x, which is 12x. And he spends 20% more than Q. So he is going to spend 20% more than Q. So this is 9.6x, because it is 1.2 into 8x. Therefore, R's savings will be 12x minus 9.6x, which is 2.4x. What is the ratio of P's income? P's income is 16x. So we are looking at 16 is to R's savings, which is 2.4. This is 160 is to 24. You can divide both of them with 8. So this is 20 is to 3. So the answer for this question is option B. Let us look at the next question. Shubham Prasad is saying, thank you for your videos. Your explanations are very good, sir. Okay, thanks, man. Probably we'll end this stream slightly early. I'm having some issues with my throat. Maybe I'll answer another couple of questions and then end the stream. In this question, we are given two equations. A divided by a plus b plus 2c is equal to c divided by a plus b is equal to b plus c divided by 2c. Now, let us assume that this is equal to a constant k. This would imply that the first equation is a is equal to k into a plus b plus 2c. The second equation is c is equal to k into a plus b. The third equation is b plus c is equal to k into 2c. If you add all of them, on the left hand side you are going to get a plus c plus b plus c, which is a plus b plus 2c. And the right hand side is k into a plus a, which is 2a, plus b plus b, which is 2b, plus 2c, which is 4c. You will notice that this is a plus b plus c, and this is 2 times that, which is 2a plus 2b plus 4c. So the value of k is essentially equal to 1 by 2. Once you know that k is equal to 1 by 2, you can try to calculate the value. For example, from here, we can calculate that b plus c is equal to k, which is 1 by 2 into 2c, which is actually equal to c. So the value of b is equal to 0. Once you know that the value of b is equal to 0, from this particular equation, we will get that c is equal to 1 by 2 into a, or the value of a is equal to 2c. If you substitute that in the first equation, you are going to get a is equal to 1 by 2 into a plus b is 0 plus 2c, or a by 2 is again equal to c, which is essentially what we already know. So we are not getting any more information, and we can't calculate the value of a or b or c. Another way to look at it is we have two equations. This is one equation, this is another equations, and we have three unknowns. So we can't calculate the value of a, b and c, but we are required to calculate just the ratio, which is 6a plus b, which will be equal to 6a, divided by 2b plus c, which is equal to c, because b is equal to 0. So the value of this ratio is a by c is 2. So this ratio will be 12. So the answer for this question is option C. Okay guys, we'll answer one last question before ending the stream. Sir, what is the key things that XAT exam is trying to find in students? We actually had a stream with the convener of XAT. You can check it out on our YouTube channel, or we'll actually post the link for that stream, because I think he is much better qualified to answer that particular question. Many students have actually answered that question, and he has actually answered it. So you can check it out. In this question, we are told that there is a mining work that can be undertaken between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. A and B work only during these hours, and they can complete the work alone in 18 days and 22 days. So this would imply that A would take 18 days to finish the job, and B would take 22 days to finish this job. Normally, we don't want to discuss the time that it takes for a person to complete the job. We want to discuss or compare their efficiencies. So let us assume that the total work that needs to be done is the LCM of 18 and 22. You can assume this to be anything, but if it is the LCM, the calculations become easy. This is 198 units. Let us assume that this is the work that needs to be done. So in one day, the amount of work done by A is 198 divided by 18, which is 11 units. And the amount of work done by B is 198 divided by 22, which is 9 units. So if both of them are working together, they will do the job in 20, in one day they will be doing 20 units of work. Now A and B start working together on 25th November, but they are working at 12 noon, okay. When should B stop working so that the work can be completed exactly at 9th December, okay, 12 noon. So the total amount of days it has taken is 14 days. The difference between these two is exactly 14 days. Let us assume that B worked for X days. A worked for the entire 14 days. So the total work that is done is 14 into 11 plus B worked for X days into 9, which is 9x. This is equal to 198. 14 into 11 is 154. The value of 9x is 44. Or the value of x is 44 by 9. So B has to stop working after 44 by 9 days. 44 by 9 days is 4 days and 8 by 9. 8 by 9 days. This is when B has to stop working. First 4 days, they 4 days. 29th November, 12 noon is 4 days. And another 8 by 9 days. Remember that they work from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is basically 9 hours. So 8 more hours have to pass after 29th November, 12 noon. Till 29th November, 6 p.m., 6 hours have elapsed. Next, it will start at 30th November. Two hours have to elapse. 30th November, 9 a.m. is the start. So it is 30th November, 11 a.m., which is option C. So please do send a mail to support@cracku.in. If I remember correctly, I think you are the guy who said he has done very well in CAT and is not taking XAT. So if that is the case, then I'll send you a free Cracku t-shirt after the actual scores are out, if you score above 99%. Okay, this is a promise I'm making. So please do send a mail to support@cracku.in.